Hey everyone, Joshua Kirk here with you once again, and now it's time for the first of two year-end lists that I have planned for the end of this year, 2023. This video is going to be my top 50 songs of the year. I apologize that this video and the next year-end list I'm going to do are coming a little late. That's because over holiday break, I've been feeling sick, and I've needed to get to better health, and definitely didn't want to postpone these videos, but yeah, I just had to listen to my body, and good news is I'm feeling better now, and I'm ready to share with y'all my favorite songs, and for the next video, my favorite albums of 2023. I'm very excited. This has been, I think, a really impressive year for music, and yeah, narrowing it down definitely was tough, but I somehow made it happen, and yeah, I'm ready to share my favorite songs of the year in this video. Without further ado, let's get to the list. Number 50, James Blake, Fall Back. 49, the Algiers track with Nadah Shazly, Cold World. 48, a fantastic crossover from Ashnikko and Ethel Cain, Dying Star. 47, redveil and JPEGMAFIA team up for a great banger, Black Enuff. 46, Jason Isbell and the 400 Units, Devastating, Save the World. 45, the harmonious track from Lorraine, I Killed Your Dog. 44, Bryan and Kacey Musgraves team up for a great country duet, I Remember Everything. 43, Shame with Adderall. 42, King Krule with Hamburgerphobia. 41, a really kick-ass metal track from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Gila Monster. Rounding out the 40s, JPEGMAFIA again with Danny Brown, the really insane, creative banger, Garbage Pail Kids. 39, Parannoul with Arrival. 38, a really fun and introspective bop from Claud, Paul Rudd. 37, the lead single from the newest Billy Woods and Kenny Segal record, FaceTime, with Sam Herring of Future Islands fame on the hook. 36, a fantastic experimental rock epic from Squid, The Blades. 35, one of the most chaotic national songs to date, Space Invader. 34, the great anthem from Bryan Dunne, Rockaway. 33, the hard-hitting banger from Paris, Texas, Lana Del Rey. 32, Creeper with the triumphant rock opus, Cry to Heaven. And then another great indie pop rock track from this year at 31, Slow Pulp with Doubt. Rounding out the 30s, the cathartic highlight from Rustin Kelly, Holy Shit. 29, Bum 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 Bum, Danny Brown with Tanter. 28, the very unsettling yet oddly catchy track from Mandy, Indiana, Pinking Shears. 27, a beautiful ballad from Ryan Beatty, Cinnamon Bread. And then rounding out the bottom half at 26, the really insane kind of produced track from Caroline Polachek, Dang. We're at the top half now, starting off with 25. It's Olivia Rodrigo, All-American Bitch. Great dynamics between the cute acoustic verses and just thunderous pop-punk chorus. The riotous climax near the end is cool. Songwriting, I think, is top-notch. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Olivia tracks, period. 24, it is 100 gecs with I Got My Tooth Removed. Ska is back because this track has great horns, sick bass groove, and they make just removal of a tooth sound so devastating on here, and yeah, this track is just a total banger. 23, and Jim Lee's The King, one of the most haunting and powerful folk tracks I've heard all year. Mystical vocal harmonies, impressive lead vocal performance too, rapid-fire acoustic arpeggios. Like, few singer-songwriter songs this year really embody outright rage in the same way as this track does. And yeah, it blew my mind when I first heard it, and it continues to do so to this day. 22, the multi-phased epic from Underscores, Jeez Louise featuring Henhouse. Basically, post-hardcore rager, folky jam, and kind of spellbinding dream pop ballad, all rolled into one 7.5-minute track. And yeah, the transitions between these sections are so seamless. This track is basically 3 songs in one, and yet still feels very cohesive and pretty much keeps my attention the whole time. 21, it is Mitski with My Love, Mine All Mine, a track you're probably well familiar with if you are on TikTok. This song is definitely blowing up a bit right now, and for good reason, because it's gorgeous, it's heartwarming. Few songs really just feel like a big, fat, warm hug in the way that this track does, and yeah, I love it. Rounding out the 20s, it is the Jane Remover track, Lips, truly one of my favorite glitchy, internet music-leaning tracks that I've heard this year. Kind of shoegaze guitars, dreamy vocals that hit a really thick crescendo that is pretty killer, and definitely one of my favorite Jane Remover songs, period. It's gorgeous, but also very odd in, like, the best way imaginable. 19, it is the grand bop from Jessie Ware, Begin Again. Love the vocal harmonies. Personality comes through strong with the vocals. Just a really solid tune, and essentially it is a lot of what that Jessie Ware album was doing in that first half, just kind of culminating on this wonderful centerpiece that is easily the biggest highlight from that album for me. 18, Arlo Parks kind of goes kind of old school alt-rock on the song Devotion. This track has a really solid tune and lyrics. Vocal performance is really solid too, and love the way that the guitars and the drums pick up a little more punch in the second half. This track definitely feels a little different from Arlo's usual kind of R&B singer-songwriter fare, but I think she pulled it off, as I think this is easily one of my favorite songs of hers so far. 17 pretty much turned out to be my favorite hip-hop song of the year, and it's the closing title track to the newest McKinley-Dixon record, Beloved, Paradise, Jazz, featuring Miss Jalen Brown singing on the hook, and oh my god, she sounds so soulful on here, and the arrangement I think is really immaculate, but really the main attraction with this song is McKinley's rap performance and his writing, which is basically everything that this album was doing so well, just culminating in this really like grand, semi-over-the-top finish that I think is really awesome, and yeah, there couldn't have been a better way to finish off that incredible record that I'll talk more about in the Top 50 Albums video. 16, we have the sad bop from Lydia Loveless, Runaway. Kind of like with Arlo Parks, this track is a bit of a detour from Lydia's usually punchy, kind of country rock sort of fare. This is definitely the poppiest song she's probably produced, with gentle pianos, bubbly synth notes. There's also kind of psychedelic vocal lines on here too. Lyrics are still absolutely heartbreaking, and Lydia definitely kills it with her vocals. Like, she's definitely taking a bit of a risk here, and yet it resulted in, I think, one of my favorite songs of hers thus far, so W. 15, Hotline TNT's Son-in-Law, a bit of a shoegaze track that I'm kind of addicted to right now. It just takes overwhelming walls of distortion and killer drums, and puts a really solid sweeping tune on top of it with great lyrics and really nice vocal line too. And yeah, it's just a shoegaze slap. And a similarly trippy track comes in at 14. That is George Clanton's Punching Down, which ironically is kind of a perfect title for this track, because this track is simultaneously just dreamy and cool to get lost in, but it just packs so much punch, like with that groove and just the melody, the drums I think hit really hard. Yeah, it's definitely a track that I've been playing a lot this year because, yeah, I just love the vibe and it's just fun to listen to as well. 13, we have Wednesday with Bull Believer, a track that I'm not even going to spoil too much in this video. It is an 8.5 minute sort of rock opus of just total insanity, from the lyrics to the riffs to Carly Hartzman's vocals on here. And yeah, you just gotta listen to this track for yourself. Guaranteed, however you may feel about it, like, you're not gonna forget it. But now onto a rock track that packs about as much punch, but is definitely more accessible and in your face, and that is The Hives with Bogus Operandi. Like, I just love the vocals on here. The guitars and the drums are just heavy. They just sound filthy. Like, I would have never expected this track to have as much heft as, like, a great Queens of the Stone Age song, sonically at least. But yeah, that's pretty much what happens here. Melody and tune are in your face. Yeah, it's just a total rock banger. And then at number 11, as we get closer to my top 10, we have the really insane opener to the newest Geese record, 2122. I mean, vocals right out of the gate caught my attention. This track was definitely a great first impression to Geese for me, because of just how, like, interesting, fun, and unpredictable it really is. The crescendo near the end is, yeah, just, it melts my brain, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's definitely the perfect way to kind of set the tone for easily one of the year's most forward-thinking and exciting rock records. And now we're there, ladies and gentlemen. My top 10 songs of 2023. Number 10. If you thought that Geese track was really insane, you haven't seen anything yet, because at number 10, we have truly one of the most anxiety-inducing underground rock songs that I've heard all year, and that is Snooper with Running. The riffs sound like something out of, like, an indie horror film. The rhythm section also has a really cool, nimble groove. Vocals sound like a helium-voiced sleep demon from hell. Yeah, this track made me feel just very unsettled when I listened to it, but also excited and happy in a kind of demented way. Yeah, this track is wild. I just can't really say much more than that about it. Number 9, it is the Eve's Tumor track, Heaven Surrounds Us Like a Hood. Really cool fusion of glam, goth, and post-punk coming together on that track. This track is relatively short and still, like, has many peaks and valleys in terms of the way it goes from one section to the next. And it's definitely shaping up to be one of my favorite Eve's Tumor tracks, period. Yeah, it is just a total adventurous, kind of futuristic rock feast of a track. Number 8, we have a real feast of an indie folk ballad, and that is Cara Jackson with Dickhead Blues. Basically, the whole message of the song is Cara saying, I'm not as worthless as I once thought. I'm pretty fucking top-notch. And that definitely is true, as I think this track has a lot of great poetic nuggets of genius. The instrumentation is beautiful and layered. It hits a really killer crescendo in the second half as Cara kind of goes into those higher notes. And her vocals definitely are a real, like, star on this track. And so is the case for pretty much her entire debut album that came out this year. And yeah, this track absolutely floored me when I first heard it, and it's left me in awe ever since. Number 7, this song turned out to be one of the most just necessary rock songs for 2023, and that is Jeff Rosenstock's Likes You Better. I mean, this track is pretty much what makes a great Jeff Rosenstock pop-punk banger. Great riffs, punchy production, and vocals. A really fantastic songwriting that kind of leaves me a little bit worried about Jeff's or even my own well-being. Like, if you were the type of person this year who felt like something or someone was constantly nagging at you in a distressing way, this is probably the song for you. And on top of that, it's just a really great banger. And I have that chorus stuck in my head too. I liked you better when you weren't on my mind. Yeah, this track rocks. Now on to a bop that is maybe a little less depressing at number 6. That is Hemlock Springs with Heaven. Hemlock certainly has a handful of very fun, colorful bangers, but this track just might be my favorite of them so far. I just love the beat. It fuses together pop, hip-hop, and 8-bit in a way that feels very cool and definitely about as 2023 as you could get on a pop song for sure. And also I just love the vocals. I think the lyrics and melody are really strong. Like, right from the first listen, I was definitely a huge fan of this track. I'm somewhat addicted to it. Like, it's a very kind of addictive song to just play over and over again. Yeah, this track is a bop. Now on to my top 5. Number 5 is easily my favorite electronic song of the year, and that is Skrillex with Nine Barghouti. Xena is the name of this track. Like, ooh, this song shook me to my core when I first heard it, and somehow, more than any other track this year, this is one of the few songs I've heard this year where every listen kind of feels like the first one because of how just in your face and hard-hitting this track is. The fusion of EDM, house, and cultural music is done really well here. The way Nye's vocals are worked into that beat is really creative and punchy, and so are those drum hits as well. Like, to anyone who didn't believe that Skrillex could come out with just one of the most chill-inducing dance bangers of the year, like, that is what happened. And yeah, my mind is blown with this one. And speaking of mind-blowing tracks, at number 4, we have Boy Genius with Not Strong Enough. Definitely my favorite single from this album that they came out with earlier this year. Just great vocals, great lyrics, really solid pop rock instrumental on here too. An iconic lyric in the bridge as well. This song definitely is peak Boy Genius all the way, and I think it is absolutely fitting as the centerpiece to this album as well. And yeah, experiencing it live just made it all the more magical, so there you go. Phenomenal track. Number 3 is probably my favorite album opener that I've heard this year. Oh yeah, I realize it's the highest I've ranked an album opener on this list, so it is my favorite album opener of the year. Genesis Owuzu, Leaving the Light, man. Like, this track is a total banger. Definitely the perfect first impression song for this current album cycle that he's in right now, and I think it sets the tone for it perfectly. It's dark, it's bold, it's in your face, and yeah, it's just it's just a total banger on all fronts. That's about all I could really say about it. It's awesome. Number 2 is easily, I think, one of the most powerful and devastating folk ballads I've heard all year. And that is Sufjan Stevens with "So You Are Tired." I love just how multifaceted this song is. It starts out very stripped back, just him with a piano, and it's very just heartbreaking. And as the song progresses, we get gradually layering instrumentation and really fantastic lyrics and just flat out angelic vocal arrangements on here too. This song is about as spellbinding, haunting, and multi-phased as a lot of Sufjan's best songs tend to be, and I think it is really a nice taste of what this record is for Sufjan, and it's probably one of my favorite songs of his period too, and that's saying a lot. And number 1, we have Adeem the Artist with "I See You." This is a song that, when I first heard it, I knew I had to get on social media and just spread the word about it, because this is a song that I feel like not enough people have heard, and somehow I really think that this video hopefully should change that, because this song is like something a lot of us could use in this day and age. Basically, Adeem is singing to a young person who clearly is struggling to belong in the household that they live in that leans kind of conservative and Christian, and this is just a song that I think if you're the type of person who is kind of considered different or a minority, like, yeah, and you could be like anything at all, and you're someone who has like felt misunderstood, and this is a song that I feel like you should hear, and hopefully it'll give you more hope for the future. And basically Adeem is telling this person on this song, like, you are good. I understand you. I understand your pain. I've been there before. And yeah, just, I see you for who you are. And it's really just a showing of Adeem's great talent as a songwriter, and also just really proving how much empathy they really have, which is definitely refreshing for a kind of the current state of country music, whether we're talking about mainstream or indie country. Instrumental on here is really beautiful. Vocal performance and melody are really solid. It may be probably the most accessible song that Adeem has written and produced so far, but clearly it's an intentional move, just given how kind of straight from the heart and direct this situation is, and yeah, I love this song, and I may not listen to it as often as other songs I've talked about, because it is a genuinely gut-wrenching song that sometimes I have to avoid listening to because of how powerful and how kind of choked up I get listening to it, but yeah, it's my favorite song of the year, and yeah, I definitely hope after I mention that song in this video, you will check that out, and check out Adeem's albums too, because they're really great too. And those are my top 50 songs of 2023. Thank you all for watching. Hope you got some good recommendations in. Feel free to share with me some of your favorite songs of the year in the comments. Really excited to have talked about these songs here, and I'm looking forward to talking about my top 50 albums as well. So, this is Joshua Kirk, signing off.